Welcome back to a brand new video. It is another gorgeous day here at Miracle Mountain. I have just got back from a week away, so I haven't been on Miracle Mountain, and I'm absolutely exhausted because I just got off a flight yesterday and now I'm back here and I've got loads to be getting on with. But I thought I'd just catch up with you guys and check in and let you know how things are going and what I've been up to. But I had so much fun in the UK, I wasn't sure what to expect because obviously I've not been back for a couple of years to England and a lot has changed, but I had a great time catching up with family and friends. Check out how the lake is looking, it's absolutely gorgeous. The water has dropped a little bit. I believe there was one day of rain while I was away, which is really quite shocking because normally by now there's been a big heavy downpour and sometimes we've had a week of rain by now. But as you can see, the water's quite low, but the fish are thriving. I can see some big bass in there, loads of goldfish. I spotted a perch earlier as well. But just look at that, it's absolutely gorgeous. This view from here overlooking the lake, looking back at the house, never gets old. So coming back onto the topic of my trip back to England, as I mentioned, it was really nice. It's been a long time since I got to hang out with all of my family like that, and it was just really fun. We did some fun stuff. I went on lots of hikes. I don't know how many of you guys are from back in the day with the original videos where I was traveling in my first ever camper van. And I don't mean the Citroen Berlingo, that was not really a camper van. I don't class that as a camper van, but it was a lot of fun. I'm talking about the VW T4. I got to borrow that because my sister and her brother-in-law now owns it and they get to go away in that particular van for weekends away and holidays up to Scotland and stuff in the van, which is really good that that van is still going and it's still getting the use out of it that it deserves. And it was just a lot of fun being back in that van. It was super cozy, super comfortable, and yeah, I have a lot of fond memories in that van from back in the day when I travelled all over Europe, all the way up to the Arctic Circle in it. It was really fun to be back in it. Also, I got to play some crazy golf, which is always good fun with your family. And I realised how competitive I actually am because I did everything possible to beat my 7-year-old niece, but I think she enjoyed it. I definitely did. It's definitely nice to be back with the animals, and it's time to let these chickens free range for the day. They are raring to go today, aren't you? Absolutely raring to go. They're straight off to forage for all of their goodness that lies on this property. There's loads of ants I can see right there actually. There's an ant's nest and the chickens have spotted it straight away and are pecking away at the ants. Next up is to let the goats out, and I'm going to have to start thinking really soon on the new property that eventually I'm going to be moving to. I need to make that animal safe. I need to make sure the goats are nice and secure and they've got a really nice area. And I need to go down there and inspect where they could possibly go and how it could work with them. Do I need to build them a barn? What areas do I need to fence? Where they're going to get their water from? All of this stuff, because I always put the animals first. It's my number one priority to make sure that the animals are comfortable. You know, they're in their retirement, they're living out the rest of their days with me. I want to make sure that they have the best time possible. Hello goaties, how you doing? Have you missed me? Oh, you've definitely missed me. Look at that, come here. Come here then, don't show me up on YouTube. Come on. Tilde. Oh, there we go, Tilde. Come on, Tilde. Good girl. There we go. You know who I am. You haven't forgotten me after a week. So the goats were definitely playing a little bit hard to get there, which is hilarious. They're like, why did you abandon me for a whole week? and went and saw your family and actually had a little bit of downtime. But they are following me, so that's a good sign. They can go in free range. I'm going to walk them up to the house now because I want them to be eating everything around the lake, all of the fresh weeds that are growing up after all of the work that I did around the lake. They can keep suppressing that, and they absolutely love hanging around the house, so it's good for me. The goats clearly know the routine right now because they've followed me right up into the area by the house where I want them to graze. It's no effort at all. They're just they're such brilliant animals to look after. So when I was back in England, I went to visit my parents, and they had managed to find my old football shirts with my name on the back of them, which is really cool from when I was a child, and they'd kept hold of them all of these years. So I'm super excited to kind of put them in some sort of, I don't know, maybe I frame them and I put them on the wall in the workshop in my new house. I think that'd be really cool. So these are the shirts here, and I absolutely love this goalkeeping top here. It's super abstract. If I go closer, you'll be able to see the colours are absolutely stunning. It's way nicer than any of the modern football tops that I've seen. And the claret and blue, obviously these are Aston Villa tops. If you know your football, I used to have Aston Villa everything, so they're definitely getting framed when I can and put up in the workshop. But I just wanted to show you this. This is a downside to having the goats around the house. They just create Maltesers everywhere, as you can see, and urinate everywhere. And I can tell you very honestly that they just don't taste as good as actual Maltesers. The goats clearly heard me mention about their Malteser making factory, and Margot has decided to head over there and create some more by the looks of it. So before I get on with some stuff around the property, I want to thank today's sponsor, which is Anker. And this is the Anker SOLIX C1000 Gen 2. And I keep it right here in the UTV at all times because it's basically my mobile power station. Out here on the farm or when I'm off camping away from the property, I need something reliable to keep all of my tools, my camera gear, my lights, everything charged up, and this thing has never let me down. So one of the biggest reasons that I use it is its speed. This thing charges from empty to full in just 49 minutes. And that means if I decide to head out on a last minute camping trip up in the mountains just there, I can either throw it in the back of the UTV or the Hilux and have full power on my trip. Also, I have a wire which is provided in the box, which means that I can just plug it in to the UTV in the cigarette lighter port, and then I have this end here that plugs into the SOLIX, and I can charge on the move. It's also seriously powerful with a 2000 watt continuous output with up to 2400 watt surge thanks to Surge Pad. And that means I can plug in pretty much anything from my farm tools to my camera batteries, even lights and a mini fridge. And with 10 ports, I don't have to choose what gets charged. Plus, the battery tech inside is built to last with EV grade LiPo4 cells with a 10-year lifespan and over 4,000 cycles. It's rugged, it's drop resistant, and it's actually lighter and smaller than most power stations with the same capacity, which makes it perfect for keeping in the back of the UTV. And when I'm out here filming, I rely on this thing to keep all of my gear alive. So I've got my drone, my cameras, my laptop, everything powered right from the SOLIX. And on farm days, I have all my tools just over here charging in the back of the UTV. Also at night, I can plug in lights, a fan, I can even cook with it. And because it runs whisper quiet at just 20 decibels under load, I don't even notice it running. There's also a smart app that lets me monitor usage, switch modes, and even control when it charges to save on energy costs. And if you want to go completely off grid, it supports up to 600 watt of solar input. So I can now recharge it in under 2 hours with the solar panels. The Anker SOLIX C1000 Gen 2 has also been certified by Guinness World Records as the fastest recharging portable power station. So for me, the Anker SOLIX C1000 Gen 2 is just a no-brainer. It's my always ready power source, whether I'm farming, camping, or out shooting in the field. So if you want to check it out for yourself, then hit the link in my description. And a massive thanks to Anker for sponsoring today's video. Right, let's get on with some more work. Nando has just turned up to say hello, haven't you? How are you doing, mate? Are you enjoying the sun? Yeah? You enjoying the sun? Or you just want to be fed again? You've already been fed today. You can't just constantly eat non-stop. It's costing me a lot of money. So it looks like the cats are just having a little bit of a grappling session. Oh, that's so cute. I absolutely love and adore how close these two have become together. Look at that love. It's kind of like aggressive love, but they do actually love each other, spend a lot of time with each other non-stop. I don't think you're meant to be in the house, mate. Oh, what have you done? Literally. Oh, thank you very much. Maltesers absolutely everywhere. Can we for a minute just appreciate these absolutely stunning colours on the trees that have recently just appeared? And you want to know how they've appeared? It's been super hard work. It takes a long time to make it look this good, but I think they've come out all right. I mean, look at that. You'd think it was autumn or something. So what I'm going to do now is jump in the UTV, head down to the new property and start to work out various bits and pieces about what needs doing really soon and kind of create a list of priorities, because when I was back in the UK, obviously when you have time to step away from a project, your mind goes absolutely wild, and suddenly there's time to think about all these different variables and possibilities, and the possibilities with that place are absolutely endless. So I want to go down there, make sure everything's okay, because I've not seen it since I've got back, and just go through a few ideas for the animals and for myself as well. And later on in the video, I will be clearing up some things and talking about Miracle Mountain and the sale of that and why it's got to go ahead, because there was a lot of questions and also a whole lot of support, which it means the world to me. It's really helping me carry on. So thank you for all of the support. It's not easy, like it's really not. I'm not going to lie and say like, oh yeah, I'm just, you know, bimbling along and things are all perfect. They're not. It's not easy at all. It's a horrible time, probably the most horrible time of my life, but I'm pushing forward. I've got really excited plans and you guys are going to follow me every step of the way.
There's too many people in this town. There's not enough space to go around. And I've been working, I've been saying, I've been thinking.
So I have just arrived at my new property and I'm happy to report it's still here. So that's a very good sign. A week away, everything's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drive the UTV a little bit further into the bottom field and have a look at where the goats could be positioned. Here now in the bottom field, and I've never actually been down here to think about the animals and where they could be positioned and what could work for them. So this is a really good opportunity, and you know, I'm not actually physically doing anything right now, but this is all part of the process. I need to work out what's possible and what's not, so I can buy the materials and figure out a timeline of when I can actually get this done. So yeah, let's have a little walk around and see what's possible, because the field's pretty big, to be honest. The The whole property sits on 1 hectare of land, so it's not massive, about 2.4 acres maybe, and that's good because it's far less work to do. And once the animals are set up, the goats and whatnot, they'll be grazing this field. I'll probably never really have to mow this field once the goats are in here. They'll take care of it completely. So as I mentioned, it's quite a big field, this, more than big enough for 2 goats, and it's got a lovely hedgerow that runs all the way up to the secret garden, and you can kind of get an idea of scale because I'm pretty sure just there, that's the roof of the house. So you've got obviously the swimming pool in front of that, the secret garden, and then this main field, and essentially it's like a big rectangle. So I'm thinking to actually fence it will be really quite straightforward, which will be good. There's quite a few gates I'm going to have to put on here so I can obviously get vehicles through and stuff. But one thing I've noticed, which is very positive, is this spring, so I've got a little stream that runs all the way down this field and it's flowing really nicely. And like I said, it's the very end of the summer now, and this is flowing. You can see where the wild boar been down here and trampled around. They've created quite a disturbance just here and like pulled up all of the dirt. And what they do is they obviously go into the stream and wallow around, and they've pulled up all of these stones out the ground looking for food. They've obviously been standing in there because I can see the hoof prints. And if you look up that bank right there, there's a path that they've created where clearly they run through the stream. There's just tons of evidence that the boar have been down here. Also, further down at the bottom of the field, I noticed that there was a lot of the area had been flattened. So that's definitely wild boar as well. So that's another good reason to put in some strong fencing to keep the boar out. The last thing I want is the wild boar confronting the goats. That would not be good. But you can see down there, that's all flat, and that's definitely wild boar. That's not been done by a human. It's all wildlife. There's little corridors that go through the brambles. My property also extends much further that way. I've got a forest and some other terraces down there that I don't think I've ever showed you guys. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that, and I'll show you that part of the property. But yeah, you can really get a sense and an idea of the scale of this field. It's not massive, but it's really, really, really perfect for 2 goats. It really is. One thing that I've mentioned in the past is the field comes to a plateau just at the bottom of the field just here. And one thing I really want to do is create a pond, because I've got water, I've got a spring, and it's just running off the property once again, and I want to retain that water as much as I can. So I'm thinking right here I'm going to build a nice sized pond like I did with the other one, that I can stock some fish in here, and also the goats can come down and drink from it. And there's quite a lot to think about when you're keeping animals and creating infrastructure, fencing, ponds. Like, I want this field to flow really nicely and them to be set up nicely, that works for them but also works for me as well, so I can get the vehicles down here like the UTV, the tractor if I need to, and do any maintenance down here, also bringing materials down here and stuff like that. So there's quite a lot to think about, and I'm just walking around up the hill because it's quite a gradient. This will definitely keep the goats nice and fit. We're right on a hill here, and you can hear from my breath I'm a lot fitter than I once was, and if I'm heavy breathing now, then yeah, clearly you can see it's steep. But I'm thinking that I could actually build a nice little small animal barn for the goats just up here. So you can see the UTV parked up there, and there is almost a plateau. It's not as steep as the other section of the property. So I think this could be a really good area for the animal barn. If you guys have done anything like this before, then let me know in the comments. But I think I've got a good idea of where I want to put it and what I want to do, because the main thing is I've got water. So just up there's a massive retaining wall here, and then the secret garden behind with a hose pipe. So I was thinking what I could do is put a nice big water tank in the secret garden and then gravity feed all of the water down to the animal barn. And that way it's one less thing for me to worry about. I can just make sure they've got water at all times. And obviously I'll make sure that the barn is super comfortable for them. There's also the stream just here, so that's really good. There's many places you can drink from on this property. It's full of water, which is a really good sign, especially at the end of summer. I'm feeling much better. I think it's a really good idea sometimes to just come out, walk around, float some ideas, see what's possible. And I feel really good about the goats living down here. I think they're really going to enjoy it, to be honest. It's a really nice field. It stays green most of the year. There's water. I'm going to put a pond down there, like I mentioned, and there's tons of opportunities for different spaces for the goats on this property as well. This isn't the only field. Like I mentioned, I've got a little forest area with some other terrace. So eventually, once I've cleared trails through there, they'll be able to graze through there as well. But this will definitely do for the first area for them. And now I can start to kind of draw up some ideas of enclosures and animal barns and see what I can do. I can probably use most of the trees from Miracle Mountain to actually build the structure, and I won't have to buy so much materials, which would be good. Also, I nearly forgot to mention, but there's some big established trees like this one here that gives off a ton of shade through the summer. So this will be really important for the goats. They can hang out, they can relax under this tree. Obviously, they will have the fallen fruit as well. I just realized they will eat all of this fallen fruit off the trees and will absolutely have a great time doing so. Also, their barn will be a nice shaded, cooler area because it'll be up against that big like retaining wall. So that will help keep the sun off. But there's a ton of fruit trees on here, and it's a really nice space. Fencing wise, it's actually quite straightforward, which is really good. I didn't realize that the field was that rectangular, so I think that would be pretty straightforward. But I will have to put in some gates as well. So there's definitely gonna have to be a gate just here that keep the goats in that field away from the house, which is further up the other side of the camera. But I'm feeling good about it. I've got all the gates. I've got some fencing materials that I can utilize. So I'll just have to go to the builder's merchant and price everything up, and then see when I can move forward with that project.
Well, I think I just seen Jesus Christ. He's hiding in between the neon lights, in the bar rooms, in the bedrooms, in the card rooms. So I'll do my best to try and say my goodbye. Time will tell if I make it. I'll be out for the rest of my life. Someone told me that this place would be so cold. Autumn stories have a gold, have all been told. In the bar rooms, in the bedrooms, in the car rooms. There's a world out there that's waiting to be seen.
So who's the culprits to the fresh Maltesers that I see over there by the house? Is it you two? Yeah, that look tells me it's you two. So now that I've worked out about the goats and where they're going to live, I'm actually really excited to start doing some drawings, jump on Pinterest, have a look at different animal barn situations and see what ideas I can come up with to make the whole system where they live just really nice and simple. That pine tree just there, it was looking like it was going to die. I think I pointed it out in one of the videos a while ago. but since I've been gone and I've come back, it's completely died. So I need to fell that fairly soon. There's actually 3. There's one there, and then a smaller one right down the bottom. So all 3 of them pine trees will have to come out, but it looks fairly straight, and I'll just turn it into firewood, to be honest. So now I'm back at Miracle Mountain, and I'm just walking around the lake now. The goats are just having a great time, browsing and grazing all of the weeds around the lake, which is nice to see. And I want to talk about the video that I put out, basically letting you guys know that I'm going to have to sell Miracle Mountain. And obviously it was my dream, it's my dream project. It's such an incredible place, and a lot of you guys came up with suggestions of how I could possibly keep this place, and I really appreciate that. I do. I've been through everything in my head trying to come up with ideas of how I could hold on to this place, and honestly it's just not feasible. It's just not, which is, it's really disappointing, but also I've had time to reflect and leave and come back, and I'm kind of at peace that unfortunately this project will be over once it gets sold. And instead of seeing the negatives, I'm trying to see the positives, and being free from Miracle Mountain will open up other opportunities for sure. And I've already got tons of ideas, and I can't wait to bring you guys along for them ideas and see how it all materializes. It's not easy for sure. Letting go of this place is not easy. It's really not. But like I said, it's going to open up different opportunities to go traveling, to do other things. So yeah, it's been a process coming to that in my head, and a lot of you guys suggested I should set up a GoFundMe and you'd be willing to donate, and that way I could manage to stay here. But honestly, that just doesn't sit right with me. I'm going to get myself out of the situation. I don't want to take any money from you guys. It's not what I'm here to do whatsoever. That just doesn't sit well with me at all. So I will not be setting up a GoFundMe. One thing I will be doing though is having a little bit of a rebrand in the near future hopefully, and selling some merch and designing some merchandise. And also I've got some ideas for products that I could create from Miracle Mountain. So more of that coming soon, but I'm actually really excited about that. That's one of the ideas that I had while I was actually in England, and I've been thinking about it for a long time, but certain situations have kind of pushed me into moving in that direction and coming up with new creative ideas. And being comfortable isn't always a good thing. So that's the way I'm seeing it. Comfort can stop you from doing certain things, and right now I'm very uncomfortable but I know it's gonna bring the best out of me, and I will rise to the top, and I will create and do the things that I want to do. It's not going to be easy, but nothing worth doing is easy, to be honest. I'm honestly just listening to you guys right now, and today just decided to take it easy, and I really wanted to film a video just to check in with you, just to let you know where I'm at and what I've been up to, because it's important to keep you guys updated. You're here week in, week out supporting me, and I really appreciate that. So another suggestion from you guys was, can I split the property so I can actually keep some of Miracle Mountain? And unfortunately, to do with the geography and the landscape of Miracle Mountain, and also the Portuguese laws on property, it's not, you're not able to just split the land like that. So it has to be sold in the articles that the articles are. I can't go and change the borders or the boundary lines or anything like that. So yeah, it was a good suggestion, and you could definitely do that in other countries, but not in Portugal. And when I woke up this morning, I just felt absolutely exhausted. Obviously going back to the UK was a massive change from being here. Complete silence, tranquility, and gorgeous views and everything. Not that you can't get gorgeous views in England, like some of the English countryside is the best in the world. It's unbelievable, but yeah, it's just, I was in the cities a lot of the time, and there's a lot of people, there's a lot of traffic, and it's just not what I'm used to. So it's quite exhausting, but I'm back here and I'm feeling positive. Like I said, I've come to the realization that this project it's not going to happen how I imagined it, and that's fine. Someone else will take it on, and I will do something even bigger and better in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and all of the support and all of the comments and all of the emails. It really does mean a lot. I'll catch you on the next video where I'll be doing more renovation stuff. But it's been a nice day off, I will say that. Thank you and take care, and I'll see you soon.